Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?
Go to it. Here we go.
Okay, Heath Ledger, Joker. What's going on, Dad? Good to
Uh,
see you.
Nice to be seen, son. How are you?
Nice to be seen. I'm great. I'm great. I'm tired, but
Tired.
I feel like an adult now. Like
Yeah.
every adult's like I'm tired. Every adult's
Yeah.
like I'm exhausted.
Well,
This, and that.
yeah. And you? What's your excuse?
Yeah, I'm
How
just
old are those
tired.
adults? How old are those adults? Are they your the parents' age, or are they just like, 20-something-year-olds?
Well, Ryan's now an adult. Shout out Ryan, and she told me the other day she's exhausted.
I don't know what a 20-year-old is exhausted for, but
I
okay.
know. I know. Who am I to complain? It's a
Yeah.
great day. We are officially in the Burr months. September, October,
Oh, yes.
November.
Yeah. You know what I saw? I know it's September because you know what I saw on PCH today? I saw
What?
them setting up all the flags at Pepperdine University
Oh,
for 9/11.
yeah. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
you had told me as a kid, when you ride your
Yeah.
bike out there, if you were riding and it happened to fall on 9/11, you would take a picture of all the flags
Yeah.
at Pepperdine University.
Yeah.
Um,
They were setting it
yeah.
all up. They were setting all the markers were in place and they're putting up the
Oh
lights and
wow.
everything. Sad time of
This
year.
this is my first time in New York. It'll be my first time in New York during 9/11. I can't imagine it'll be any other different than any other, day, but
Not for you, unfortunately, but for many other people. Yeah.
I
A lot of
know.
New Yorkers. It's very different. But
I know.
yeah, not for you. It's it's crazy because you talk about well we talk about history. It's like this is almost 25 years ago. So next year will be 25 years. It's a
Wow.
quarter of a century ago. I mean, unfortunately, it starts to really go into the past unless you're a part of it. Can you imagine? I was reading an article today, and the writer had said that like I can't believe like I was in high school when it happened.
Whoa.
And like my jaw just dropped. Like
You were a newlywed. You didn't even have
yeah,
I didn't even exist.
no, it didn't exist. It's
Weird.
crazy. Yeah,
Weird. Dad, so I just on the brighter side of some
yeah,
things as of late,
sure.
you did something today that what'd you do today? What'd you go out and do?
I rode my bike along
Yeah.
PCH for
Yeah.
yeah.
Other than the
I
bike.
I went out today and I bought a pair of Apple headphones. And I can't
Beautiful.
use them on the podcast, which I just found out, which is fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just tuning out the world even more and just going into my own headspace. Um, yeah,
It's nice.
yeah, it's really nice. They sound great. You had put them on my head right before I was going to sleep when we were in Mill Valley a few weeks ago, and I was just blown away by the sound. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, you know what? I love listening to music. I go to the gym once, twice a week, and I'll find other uses for them, but I'm super excited to use them. Like I said, I thought I was going to use them for the podcast. Obviously, I can't. That's okay. Not
We'll
the end of
work
the
it out.
world.
We'll
But I'll
work
tell
it
you,
out.
but even more exciting for me, and I want to start a trend here. Okay, so Christopher Nolan, the director of The Dark Knight and
Of
many other
course.
movies, like what else? Oppenheimer and many
Inception,
others. Inception.
Prestige,
Yeah.
to name a
So
few.
I was reading a social media post, and it said he had said that we don't. And we had discussed this a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. I don't know that we don't own anything anymore in terms of movies, music, any of that stuff because we stream everything and we have to rent it from Apple Music,
Right.
Amazon, you name it,
Yeah.
Hulu. You don't own anything.
Hmm.
So I was kind of like going through my CD collection. And, for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I love collecting records. I was going through my CD collection and I have a lot of CDs, right? Not DVDs, CDs.
Got some
And
good ones right here
there's a great one,
from
Terrapin
your
Station,
collection.
for my collection, which I'm gonna need all that stuff back now. So,
What? Why is that?
oh,
Why is that?
because I bought a CD player, a
That's
standalone
that's
CD
cool.
player, and I'm really enjoying it. And I love the vinyl stuff because I made shelves in our living room, and you kind of display them, and it looks really cool. And just when my mood changes, you can just switch everything out. Sometimes I put all soundtracks up there. Sometimes it's all the Grateful Dead. Whatever my mood is. And now I'm able to do that with my CDs. I'm not displaying them, but I had so many. So I'm using them and they're easier to use because you're not flipping over an album. So I
Right.
just put it in, let it play. Now, one could say, well, don't you have Sonos? Well, yes, I do,
Right.
which is a streaming service. I get it. But, again, you got to pay for all those, streaming services. So I'm super excited about that. And I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Oh
CDs that have
yeah.
just been sitting around in a closet for years.
They've
So,
probably been sitting around since the days of your Honda Element because I
yes.
remember when we were in the Element, you had actually you were kind of moving with the trends of the world. Like
Yeah.
at one point you got like a built-in Sirius XM Bluetooth sort of radio and it
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
sort of and we were like, what is this
Right. Right.
time
Right. Right.
machine,
Right. What's
Because
Sirius XM?
I
So,
might only be 23 years old, but I was
no.
around when CDs were still a thing. I was around when DVDs were still a thing. To your point, something really interesting as you guzzle your, was that a Cannondale
No, it's a
water bottle?
Camelback water bottle. And there's some
Camelback.
electrolytes in it. I'm very parched. It's 100
Nice.
degrees here and right here,
Wow.
the San Fernando Valley. Yeah. Go ahead.
So to your point about how everything's digital now, and so this ties into our conversation here. So I did something yesterday um, that I'd kind of been contemplating for a little bit because, when the workday is done, I got my climbing, I got my
Hmm.
girlfriend, I got my music, I got my pickleball now, I got friends. But what I find myself often doing is sometimes at night, like my girlfriend will go into to sleep, and I'll find myself doom scrolling. And I
Hmm.
kind of want to do it less, but the problem is like it's doom scrolling on the TV. So I'm like, what can I do that can still challenge me? It can still, you know, make me think, but I could still look at the TV. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, maybe I'll just go out and buy some puzzles. Like I've been thinking about like, oh, I want to do puzzles. I want to do Legos. Like the apartment's
Hmm.
not big enough for that right now.
Right.
So I caved, and for the first time in I think about 12 years, probably 12 years,
Yeah.
I
I have
bought.
no idea what you're going to say.
This episode is sponsored by Helen Cycles, taking good care of people and their bikes since 1936. Serving Southern California with locations in Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach, with brands like Trek, Santa Cruz, Pinarello, and Colnago. We'll see you on the bike.
I bought a new video game console.
Video game console. Okay.
I bought
Oh.
the PlayStation 5,
Hmm.
and I'm already looking up um like a lot of like, so for those of you that don't know, I'm sure a lot of our viewers would, but especially you, Dad, like you remember when I was playing like the Wii and the
Yeah.
Xbox and the PlayStation 4. The cool thing
Hmm.
about the PS5 is the technology is so advanced now that like you can go back and play remastered versions of like really old games. So it looks like it was created yesterday.
Right.
It's like in
Okay.
4K. So like I got Lego Star Wars. I got Indiana
It's
Jones.
all built in
It's all
or,
built like it's just built in, and I can
uh-huh.
go ahead and buy it. And they're remastered versions of the game, so it doesn't look pixelated like it was made in
Right.
2005 because it was, but it looks like it was made in 2025. And the
Right.
game's like 20 years old. So, but like I was trying to just find other ways to
Is it
occupy my
built in or
time.
you have to buy
Well,
those, or rent them?
so to your
Yeah.
point,
They stream.
it's crazy. I go in and the guy says, "Oh yeah, the PlayStation 5 is right here. We have the disc version of the PlayStation 5." I go, "Yeah, isn't that like all video games have discs, right?" He's like, "Well, technology has changed." Mind you, I actually have not bought a new game console in 12 years. And I don't keep up with, consoles. So I'm like, "Oh, well, what other ones do you have?" He's like, "Well, they actually have something called the digital PlayStation 5, where the console is half the size. If the one with that holds discs is this big, the one that
Yeah.
holds like nothing is this big,
Right.
and all you got to do is plug it into the TV, almost
Right.
like it's not as small as an Amazon Fire Stick, but
Oh my
it's
God.
it's small, like it
Right.
sits on the mantle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It doesn't take up
And
much room. That's awesome.
I can just go on to the actual console and get the games there, and they just live digitally on the device. I don't have to collect discs, which like I used to like to do, but
And
like,
do you have to rent them or they're just all built in?
well, there's a few different options. They have free options, they have built-in options,
Okay.
they
All
have
right.
um like discounted options, and then of course the games that are actually made today, like the new NFL game is like $70, which in theory, not bad if you're
So
spending
if
only
you were to,
$70.
right. So if you were to rent it, then do you own it? Or, I
No,
mean,
so I would have to continue renting it, sort of like a streaming
but you
service.
said it's $70. It's 70
70
bucks a
bucks
year.
is a one-time purchase.
It's a
And I
one-time
got
purchase.
Yeah, and I got the game for good.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of cool though that like they moved away from, they still give the disc option, but they moved away from that and have a totally digital option now. But what I found to be most interesting is that
Mm-hmm.
there was like a $100 difference from the digital to the disc. Which one do you think was more expensive?
Disc.
Yeah, isn't that in theory kind of weird?
Yeah.
I just thought about it. Like I was sitting there
Yeah.
and I'm like,
But yeah,
okay,
I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. They're up to something.
they're up to something. But I'm happy with the purchase, and yeah. Anyways, thought that was a cool way to tell you.
That's interesting. And going back to we don't own anything. So I was reading that there's a class action lawsuit against Amazon because you know how all these streaming services they have um you can buy or rent, right? Some are
Right.
free because you're just a member, or you can buy it or rent it, which drives everyone crazy. If I have Amazon, you should just fucking give it to me for whatever I'm paying a month. In terms of letting me watch it, but so you can buy it. So then you feel like you own it, right?
Totally.
Class action lawsuit is, as you know, and as everyone else knows who listens, um, movies come and go off streamers.
Totally.
So if I bought that movie, let's say for 17.99, because they're not a lot of money to buy, if Amazon loses the rights, even for 6 months, for that movie,
Oh, really?
you don't own the movie anymore.
What?
So I just gave you guys 17.99 because I'm buying it.
I had
And
no
now
idea.
you lose the rights to stream it. Then I can't watch it. I don't own it. So you don't really own it. And that's
That's
fucked.
that's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Something else happened with a lawsuit, and it's now a closed investigation. I don't know if you heard, but like, remember how like we would watch some wrestling events, and I'd be like, "Oh, I can just get it off like a website," and you're like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah.
So there's this website. It's like it was the number one illegal streaming sports site. It was called Stream East. I don't know if you saw an article today, but after a 1 year long investigation, Stream East has been not like completely knocked off the face of the earth. Police raided, the owners, uh, homes, and
Headquarters, right?
took their
Yeah, it's a
money,
home.
their laptops, their everything, and Stream East like ceases to exist now. And it existed a few weeks ago, and so yeah, I mean, this streaming world is really interesting. It's now affecting video games. It's now affecting, I mean, music, TV. I mean, streaming, and you were ahead of the curve.
And I'm thinking about maybe because I looked on Amazon because I got to give Jeffrey Bezos more money. I looked at Amazon and they make little DVD players like that, and you just plug it into the HDMI into the back of
Oh
the
my
TV. So
God.
now I'm thinking we have so many DVDs because like you said, you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Sometimes, I will scroll for an hour just to figure out a movie with your mom, whereas I can
Right.
just go to the DVD library, just pick a movie out and like just put it in and play it. You don't spend an
Oh,
hour
I
like
like
sitting
that.
there in the menus for, an hour because everybody does that. It's almost like that's the evening in itself.
Yeah,
Let's just scroll and see what comedies are there on this service, what horror movies are on this service.
totally.
And yeah,
Oh,
wow. Speaking of horror
yeah, yeah,
movies,
yeah. You finally, I mean, I think I've been begging you to see it.
yeah,
You finally saw Weapons.
I did. I did see
Yeah.
Weapons. Josh Brolin and
What do you
Julie
think?
Garner. And what did I think? I really enjoyed it. It's a great, I don't want to say who the other star is in the movie. Um, it's a great, fun horror film. I can't believe like I would never want it to happen to me.
Mm,
I would rather have like Michael Myers chasing me around than have what happened to these families.
right.
But yeah, wow, that movie was great. It was great. I had some difficulties with it. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but I had Josh Brolin. This is how you know the movie's good. Josh Brolin is a star to everybody. Everyone likes
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, and he's fucking handsome as all hell. He's got the
Gorgeous
best hair. Oh
on
my
the
God, he has the best
planet.
hair on the planet. Okay. And he's got to be my age, maybe a little bit older, right?
Yeah, maybe,
Maybe,
maybe.
maybe 60 years old. He is stunning. But anyway, um, I was reading I was watching him in an interview a couple weeks ago when he was promoting this, and he was saying how he doesn't make a lot of money from Hollywood. He makes a lot of money from trading stocks.
Oh,
He's like,
really?
this way, it gives me the ability to just make whatever movie I want to make, I want to be a part of.
Really?
And I was like, wow. So then I kind of thought to myself, and he's been in a lot of little movies. Like, wasn't he? What was the movie? Country for Old Men or
Oh,
something?
no,
Wasn't he
no
in?
Country for Old Men. That's a pretty big
Yeah.
movie, though. That's a
Yeah.
big
It's a
movie.
big movie in terms of like reviews and stuff, but it wasn't big financial
This,
success by any
this is,
means.
I'd say this is like semi-small. I mean, it's getting a
Yeah.
lot of
It's definitely
acclaim,
small. It's a small
and
movie. And so, my point is like, so it's a good movie because, he doesn't whether he made $1 million from it. He doesn't have to, it's no Thanos role where he's making $10 million.
so
Just making some money.
I just thought like I thought the story is so creative, it's so unique, and like
Yeah.
there's a billion different takes you can have on the genre of horror. And Zach Krager, the director, he did another really good movie. I actually think you would really like. Just same like really mysterious undertone where you're like,
Right.
what the hell is going on?
Mhm.
Called Barbarian. Came out a
Uh-huh.
few years ago. It's definitely on Netflix right now or something, but highly recommend. It's really, really
Who's in
good.
it?
Um, the only notable guy is the guy from It, Bill Skarsgård. Is that his
Okay.
name?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
in it. It's about it's about an Airbnb. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll never go to an Airbnb again.
Oh, great.
Um, but
Shit.
anyway, so Zach Krager is I just thought his storytelling in this film was so great, and I really love just the way he went about telling the story. Like I said, just really unique,
Yeah.
and he took a
Uh-huh.
lot of inspiration from Magnolia, Scream, The Shining. Um,
The Shining. Wait a second. There was I'm glad you brought that up. There was a scene in the movie where I swore I heard some of the Shining music.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he
Okay. Okay.
there's a
So
really
I wasn't
cool.
crazy. Okay.
I'm gonna go and after this, do you remember our guy from YouTube, Eric Voss from New Rock Stars? You know that YouTube? He does all the breakdowns. Here's everything you
Yes.
missed.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I
Yes.
am going to send you.
Oh.
He did one for
Okay.
weapons. I'm gonna send it to you after
You know
this.
what? That'd be great because your mother and I, when we got in the car, we're kind of talking about it, and there's something in the movie that we didn't like that I don't want to give away, but you explained to me off air, what it was trying to do. I don't know if I agree with it, but your mother was like, we really got to sit down and watch a YouTube video, a breakdown of
You
what the
gotta
movie. And
watch
I
it.
was like, I was impressed that your mother said that. I was like,
You
wow.
got to. It's a great
And
video. But so Zach Krager, the last thing I want to say about this movie that I think, and like the music's so good, and we talked about that off air, how like I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
This is going to blow your mind, though. I don't think you know this. So Zach Krager, his first movie was Barbarian, which again you
Mhm.
should go watch. This is his second feature film. He wrote this, he
Mhm.
directed this, and he shopped it himself to studios. So Jordan Peele,
Mhm.
his studio is called Monkey Paw Productions, and
Okay.
all the movies that Jordan Peele has directed and wrote, like Get Out,
Uh-huh.
Us,
Yeah.
Nope, it's all Universal, but
Yeah.
Universal Monkey Paw.
Okay. Right.
So Monkey Paw was in the running to acquire the rights to this movie so that Jordan Peele could direct, even though Zach Krager wrote
Oh,
it.
okay.
Monkey Paw and Jordan Peele's managers lost the bidding war to New Line Cinema, and Jordan Peele fired his managers of 30 years because he didn't get the movie. That's how upset he was because he was like, this script is amazing. I want to direct this. He fired his managers of like 30 years because they couldn't get the job done.
Wow. That's wild.
That goes to show you how,
What a great story it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I got to tell you, and Elizabeth, and Mark, you got to trust me on this one. You got to trust me. It's good. It's really fun, and
yeah,
it's scary, and it's
really scary.
upsetting, and it's upsetting.
And the last thing I want to say about the movie, and I feel like at this point we've done a really good job of not spoiling it. If you haven't seen it, please go and stop here. Maybe fast forward a little bit because I do want to address something. There is an undertone here. You said a few minutes ago, I would never want this to happen to like my family or families you know. There's a lot of kind of random things that happen in this movie where you kind of either turn to the person next to you or just in your own thought and you go, am I processing that the way you are, or am I seeing that the way you are? And one of those things is the movie is a giant metaphor for, and this is fact, he's talked about this, the director. The movie is a giant metaphor for sort of the aftermath of a school shooting and what happens to these communities, to these families, to these people. Um,
Yeah, we get that. We
and
get that.
and and kind of how do you move forward? If
Yeah,
you notice everyone in that opening scene where
yeah,
they're all going after the teacher
yeah,
and they're angry. They're not upset, they're angry. And usually it's like a little, when these shootings happen, it's like a little bit of sadness or a
yeah.
lot, but
And you
then
want
anger
answers.
and you want
You want,
answers.
yeah.
And so I think watching it again, if you do
Hmm.
choose to see it again, maybe watch it with that lens because it is really interesting that it's not the main point, but it's pretty interesting.
Did you get that from Voss?
No, there was a few moments in the movie. I thought the very opening of the movie where the girl is doing the monologue where you don't know what's
Yeah.
happened, but you've seen
Hmm.
that there's a is it called a shrine? What do you when you mourn someone, you
Oh
like
yeah,
lay
yeah,
flowers
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a lot of shots like that where,
Mhm.
during the monologue
Yeah,
and
no, I see. Yeah,
it revolves around a school
yeah.
and
School
that
closed for a little while, and then it
and did you notice
reopened,
the
but it wasn't as.
floating exactly. And do you remember how he's like, we have to reopen, we have to move forward. And it's
Yeah,
like that's all that you can do when this stuff happens is like, how long can you close school for? How long can you not move on for? And did you notice the floating AR, the floating rifle in the movie? How all of a sudden he's
yes.
he's dreaming and there's like a
Yeah, yeah,
floating
yeah.
rifle?
And it's a 217 on it.
Yeah, and you're like, why is there a floating rifle there? Because
Mm,
he's thinking,
mm.
perhaps he's thinking, maybe was there a shooting and we didn't know? Like what happened?
Yeah.
So lot of stuff there to unpack.
No,
Go
you
watch
just
the
gave me the
video.
chills. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about the rifle.
Yeah.
I forgot about it for a second. I didn't really know what it was referring to, but
I'll send you the video. Meanwhile, did you see we haven't sent each other a lot of John Boy media. We've talked about him
Mhm.
on this podcast. Did I'm anticipating that he's gonna do one soon because there was something really interesting that happened in the Astros Yankees game. I think it was last night. Um, so the pitcher and the catcher, it's like it's their game. Catcher's telling
Mhm.
the pitcher what to throw. Pitcher's like If he doesn't like it, he's like waves it off, and they come up with a different pitch.
Mhm.
Astros pitcher is on the mound, gets a sign from the catcher. He doesn't like it, but doesn't step off the mound, like doesn't the catcher's like telling him like step like kind of step off, like we need to rethink this pitch.
Okay.
Pitcher says no, like
Hmm.
basically in the middle of the pitch, like he continues to pitch. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like he
Hmm.
basically
Yeah.
ignores his catcher, results in a grand slam. So the catcher is like pissed off because he's like, dude, clearly we shouldn't have thrown that pitch. That's what I was trying to signal. Is like two at bats later or two pitches later. I didn't know this, but it's a phrase in baseball where like if the catcher and the pitcher aren't on the same page, they're crossed up,
Okay.
and the pitcher throws a pit like gets a sign, shakes on it, like, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
agree, gives the nod,
Yeah.
throws a completely different pitch to the catcher, and the catcher completely misses the ball because he was not prepared for that ball. And
Wow.
there's a lot of drama behind it right now, just going around the league. Like, what was that? Like, these are
Oh,
two,
all right.
yeah.
So John Boy is going to sit there and be
Oh,
like, "No, I told you to pitch this pitch."
yeah. He's totally gonna
See,
break it down.
that's what happened. Grand slam home run. Yeah, oh yeah, that was so. Speaking of sports, you must be so excited for tomorrow night.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, the NFL has come
Come
back into
back.
season, right?
Right?
Oh
Oh,
my God.
it's gonna be
So
so good.
excited, right?
It's gonna be, I'm almost certain tomorrow night's game is Cowboys Eagles. Thursday
Yes.
night, TNF, as you love that TNF,
Yeah.
SNF,
Uh-huh.
MNF. We're actually
Yeah.
getting ready for this. We're
What?
getting FNF this Friday, Friday night football. Uh Raiders Chiefs. You can watch it when you come home from work.
So, how many to watch all NFL games? How
Oh,
many different streaming services do you need, and how much would that cost you a year?
I don't even want to know. I think I found a price that would require me to get just the NFL package on
Mhm.
YouTube TV,
Right.
which gives you access. I believe the NFL package gives you access to every game
Hmm.
and NFL Red Zone the entire season long for $35 a month.
It's not
Not
terrible.
terrible.
I had heard that like in order to watch every NFL game, you'd have to pay like $1,300 a year
Well,
or for the season, I should say. I
well,
mean,
is that not
listen,
is that not 35? Well, what's 35 times like
well,
six? No,
yeah,
it's like 6 months.
right,
Whatever that is. Clearly, we're
yeah,
great at math, right?
right.
But yeah, I'm excited. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I
Well,
want to watch NFL games. It's like the only TV I really consume these days, other than Survivor, which also comes back at the end of the month already. Um,
over that.
so I'm
Your sister,
excited.
your sister texted me yesterday. She's like, or 2 days ago. She's like, "Wow, I can't believe it's September already." She's like, "What's going on here?" I
I
said,
know.
"Yeah, kind of creeps up on you." I was super, I, my mother's been doing this thing since I moved to Los Angeles in 1993.
Hmm.
She sends me articles on LA, what's going on in LA, and now with the invention of social media, I'm able to track my son in New York City, so to speak, because I now can see everything that's going on in New York City.
Right.
Runs, and I send your girlfriend like there's a bakery run going on, and we can get
Oh yeah.
pastries after and all that stuff. And I watch people on YouTube, walk from the Bronx all the way to Wall Street. And, so I'm caught up in New York City a little bit, and certainly more caught up in it than I was when I lived, back in New York.
Sure.
And so I'm watching it, and people in New York are starting to talk about how the cooler weather is coming, and the fall in New York City is so great, and you're going to get to watch the leaves change in Central Park, and that's a big thing. And football, which, yeah, I mean, Max, I get it, the Rock Tap,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for you because I know it's been a tough summer. because it's hot. New
Yeah.
York City is stagnant heat.
Oh
And
yeah.
it smells. The city kind of stinks a little bit, and I'm super excited for you because it's September. It's 100 degrees in Encino today.
Oh,
I had to sit in traffic for 40 minutes just to get to the west side so I could start our bike ride because and it was 85 degrees along the coast, which is still very hot, for the
very hot.
coast. If it's down to 75, we're like, okay, Malibu's normal now. But yeah, I mean, we're in for it here. Like September is our hottest month,
Sure.
and the store has been 90 degrees for the last couple of days, for the
Mm.
past week. You sit there, you want to blow your fucking head off. You're like, and
Well,
it puts you in a terrible, the real bad heat puts you, I mean, it's putting me, I'm comfortable. Like on my days off, I'm sitting in my air conditioned house, I'm bike riding, I'm sweating. But like at work, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so hot. I left work
yeah.
yesterday and my whole collar was just drenched in
Drenched.
sweat.
Yeah. Do you know how many times this summer I like would wake up in a pool of sweat?
Oh, well, yeah.
And
Tell everyone what you missing in New York City. What are you missing?
yeah, I didn't have AC, okay? I didn't have AC this summer, if that's what you're referring to.
That's what I'm
And
referring to.
and but I don't honestly, I don't regret it. The Burr months are here. The
Yeah.
weather is absolutely changing. And it's funny because I sound like a total broken record. My girlfriend is ready to rip my head off with the amount of times that I'm talking about my love for fall. And
Right.
but you know what? I credit that to Boston. Growing up in California, in Los Angeles, like I had an amazing childhood. Any kid would be lucky to have half the childhood I had. You know what I didn't have though? I didn't have seasons. I mean, I did, but I
Yeah. You don't
didn't.
have the
I
normal seasons.
not
Definitely
at
don't.
all. So I go like Cali kid goes to Boston and I sound like a psychopath because all I'm talking about is like, oh, I can't wait for it to get cold. I can't wait for it to get cold. And then I start to notice like, oh my God, leaves change in the fall.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, snow falls from the sky like into February, maybe even March,
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
heard.
like,
Speaking of snow, I'm sorry. Speaking of snow, I was reading that the World Almanac or the Weather Almanac that they've
mhm.
been running for 200 years, which nobody pays attention to anymore, especially with climate change, that um, New York City, because I follow everything in New York City is due for snow in September. I find that hard to believe,
I
but
don't
wouldn't
think
that
so.
be unbelievable? No, I don't think so either. But wouldn't that
So
be unbelievable if snow fell?
But I say all this because like I can already see the weather starting to change and I can already feel the temperature dropping and fall's like right around the corner. We've even gotten some things for the apartment that are just going to make it feel a little more festive
Folly,
already and
folly. Yeah,
folly,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, oozy
Yeah.
folly.
Oozy.
So
Feeling oozy.
so yeah, it's just like really nice and football kicks that off. Football
Yes,
kicks that
100%.
off tomorrow
100%.
on my half birthday. Kind of cool.
And yeah, further. Okay. And it's funny you say that because here when watching football and it's 95 degrees outside, it's not very comforting.
Yeah.
There's no coziness involved in that. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
I'm
get it.
excited. I'm excited. Are you gonna catch any of the game tomorrow?
Probably not. I've been crawling under a rock after work lately, so no, probably
With the
not.
headphones? Maybe put the headphones on and
Maybe we'll see.
get on the iPad.
Mm,
But I'm
Yeah,
thinking
we'll
of
see.
you with these Lego games. They got me thinking about you, Dad. We used to run those games all the time, and
Yeah.
it's gonna remind me of
Oh
you a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, the Indiana Jones.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
Next time I see Harrison, I'll tell him that you got a new PlayStation 5. And,
Yeah.
he's just playing Indiana Jones. And he'll look at me and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool.
that's great. Great, Adam. That's
And you
awesome.
know what? Next time you're here, we'll have to just for old time's sake, we'll have to open up the
Yeah,
PlayStation and play some Indiana Jones.
if I still have the if I still have the I don't want to say knowledge, but
The
like
muscle
you know
memory.
the muscle memory to like work devices and stuff. Yeah, so I wasn't very good at that when you were like 10, 11 years old. I wasn't. I had a tough
Ah,
time like keeping up with the That's what, it's funny. When I was a kid, my father would never let me have Atari or ColecoVision
Really?
or Intellivision, nothing.
Really?
It was not allowed in my house. And my father would actually get pissed off if he had found out somehow that I was playing them at my friend's house.
What?
And yeah, it was bizarre. And my father, like,
Well, it's
I'm
funny
just
though,
gonna
because
say,
you used to be like, no video games during the week.
well, that's because it got in the way of school. But you know, he was a real asshole about it. And I read frequently that the best surgeons in the world are the ones who played video games because they're so good with their hands. And like, there's been studies on this, and I'm like, Dad, fuck you, okay? Because
You
I
could have been a
wanted those
surgeon.
games. No, I didn't want, but that the games wouldn't have been that awful, you know. But he admits he was wrong about a lot of things. So what can I tell
Well,
you?
Dad, you're not wrong about the way you've parented, and
Thanks.
you've done great, as I often say. So,
Thank you. I
tell the people
appreciate
what
that.
they got to do.
Tell your friends, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please tell your friends.
Yeah, and share it. Share it. Literally, just take that Spotify link, copy and paste it into a text to a friend that you think
Yeah,
might need to hear us.
yeah. Just want to, jump in and see what we have to say. You might like
Yeah,
it, you might love it, you might hate it. It's okay.
such
Whatever
is
works.
life, right? You figure
Yeah,
out what you like, you figure out
yeah,
what you don't.
exactly. And you know what? You don't have to watch us. We're, we're
You
we're
just
handsome
listen.
guys, but you can just listen. Exactly.
Dad,
That's it. I love you,
love
Max. Thank
I
you.
love you too. Happy football season, and we'll be
Yes.
watching. So, uh, love you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Mwah.
Love you.